Like this, Senator Datti Baba Ahmed, will be Peter Obi running mate now. He don't follow that. So when I know this our team now, they know they tired to they talk to their people. And president and vice, we know they tired to they talk to the people. Now we go vote for this coming election. For this interview, we just had the happen. Nana declare you so man. He don't give how he and Peter Obi plan to take cut down on the unnecessary cost of governance when they don't enter into office. Just watch the video because it took my time. Many important things we need to hear. Watch am. Obìnrin family na no na work normally na. You want to share the video, make the video the cast for everywhere. Make people they see and make they see reasons why they need to come join us for this our obedient movement. When I watch the video.
Largely your principle. Things like it cannot keep promise, is heal equipped, he saved money, not the people. These are questions on the capacity which the conversation which we began earlier. And there are a lot of promises that are usually being made on the podium during campaigns. But the reality is when you get into power, the dynamics are totally different. With the debt burden that the nation presently carries is reflective in the budget of this year. There must be an out-of-the-box thinking. Is there something that is out of the box that we have not heard before that you and your principal have in the offing?
Not only is there, are there, and yes, there are. But having come so far and having chosen to maintain all that we have put forward now, we would continue campaigning with what we have put forward, improve security, unite Nigeria, improve the economy, stabilize the currency, the scam on subsidy, exchange rate, and everything. We have tools at our disposal, and these are, like I have said in the first part of our records. We promise, we deliver. I have said it before. Talk is cheap, talk is easy. Listening is risky on the side of the people. Believing is even dangerous. It behoves on the listener to trace back the history and records of who the speaker is. Who the speaker is, and entirely your responsibility to determine, is this team able to deliver what they said? This is what Nigerians are going to do on 25th February. We have records. Peter Obi's name is well known. Where he came from is well known. Schools he attended, well known. Age is well known. Records are not in doubt whatsoever. The same applies to me. Nothing is in doubt. No international controversy, no court, international criminal court or international criminal case against us. What has been following us? One business name after another business name after another business name. People can always construe out of anything. The people can call white, black. They are not asking questions on Peter Obi or me. Those people are putting questions against themselves. What are their motives for asking such questions? Good people are in short supply in a political system like ours. Where do you find the likes of Peter Obi? They come once in a generation.
But it's, so some will argue that why do you think that Peter Obi is suddenly so different? He was the running mate in the 2019 to the PDP.
Good question. Can I give you an answer?
Go ahead, please.
Good. Why is he different? Because in 2022, he left PDP. He left his ambition in PDP because he could no longer tolerate the commercial nature of PDP. And this was like 24 hours after I did the same. There is always a point in time where you can tolerate so much. It gets to one point that, look, it can't happen anymore. One thing in life is that when you can do, you do. When you can't do but you can say, you say. When you can't even say, you can only lament in your mind, you do. This is what is happening. It got to a point when in 2022, Peter Obi could no longer just be lamenting, he could act. So he acted and left the commercial PDP. This is a political party that led Nigeria for 16 years and had power taken away from it. They promised to be reformed, but when the primaries began, it was worse than before. There is no way any party that behaves this way, no way absolutely that they can ever fight corruption.
It takes me back to my initial question.
Yeah.
We are in a tough place,
Yes.
a rocky place as a people.
Yes.
Beyond the promises, Nigerians want to be assured that you really have the solution. Where will you get the money to run the country? How will you hit the ground running? You say that you want to take Nigeria from consumption to production. That will take some time. What is your timeline? Where would you get the money? What is the creativity that you are bringing on board?
In the first 100 days, by the time we sort the problem of fuels subsidy scam, and we're able to deploy Nigeria's wasted funds into healthcare and education, you'll begin to feel it. That's my principle that I've been speaking about forever, about fair procurement. You will see that the money that Nigeria has already is achieving more, is delivering more. Infrastructure, security, public service, health, education, in everything, because we have removed, I repeat, from day one, we're announcing that we have removed personal, political, and group interest from Nigerian financial affairs. That delivers more. Does that begin to answer your question?
Go ahead, please.
Right. That more than multiplies what is delivered to Nigerians. Our moves on security, when we said that we're going to dialogue, which is a very, very short, we dialogue after that, we'll make them understand there's only one sovereign power in Nigeria. We move on with it. When Nigerians can move freely in their country, that air of liberty, you're already adding. When we begin to meet our OPEC quota, when we block out all leakages in internal revenue collection and all is trapped and used judiciously, you would be having the kind of money that you start all the projects we talk about.
Do you envisage some pushback? The system will push back.
They will push back, we beat them.
I mean, do you envisage the possibility that your party,
yes.
should you win the election,
yes.
your party may not have a majority in the National Assembly?
Yes.
Do you envisage it? How are you going to play around that?
Look, the presidency is an organ in the arm of government. It is the top organ in the executive arm of government. It has enormous powers. It is not a legislative matter to meet Nigerian OPEC quota. We don't need to go to the National Assembly to meet that. To resolve the issue of security, it's only the budget we send there. And our budgets are going to be radically different.
What will be different in your budget?
Waste.
Like what?
Waste like what I've been telling you, subsidy scam. That's a major, major one.
But this government of the day has already said, by law, actually, by expiration of time, subsidy will end about the mid of this year.
Yeah.
That is almost statutory.
After it has gone for how many decades? Or for how many years? After it has gone on for how many years?
Well, like, what kind of cost of governance are you hoping to cut? For example,
yes.
that we've had governments, politicians in these countries say, if we get into office, we cut down on the fleet, in the planes in the presidential fleet. We've seen very tough statements being made, but when they get into power, there's a different kettle of fish entirely.
Yes.
When they talk about cutting cost of governance, what exactly does the Peter Obi Datti really think about cutting cost of governance?
Right. If you want me to go that, forgive my language, that low, Peter Obi and I, okay, we have had these luxuries even before we came to power. So they mean nothing to us. I try to avoid speaking on what I don't have the total control over. If I were to have total, and Peter Obi as well, total control over the PAF, Presidential Air Fleet, it will not exist when we're there, the way you see it today. Maintaining the presidential villa, the amount of money spent there will not happen like that. These unnecessary long convoys, unnecessary travels and fleet and the number of people that come, security votes and all those kind of things, they will not happen under ours. I can tell you this for sure. To what extent, I don't want to be wrong.
If you and your principal say you will not be going to all of these many trips, what about people in government? What about the civil service?
That is why I told you that from the budget we submit. Remember, I'm into education. So I would like all those headings for foreign trips and conferences and their likes and the extra costs that go along with them. I would like them sensibly reduced and those monies spent in Nigeria. That is how we're going to address the budget. Miscellaneous, contingency of miscellaneous of contingency, all those kind of things will go. But something that is really not being understood, and I want to really, really reiterate it now. When Peter Obi and I announced and effect the fact that we have removed all personal, group, and political interests from the procurement of Nigerian governance, you have already multiplied by a high factor what is coming to Nigerians. That is good governance.